What's happening, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more hardcore, and I did want to mention, this is a tune I already reacted to on my other channel, but here's the thing, as I mentioned I think a few times in videos when I first came over here to this new channel, my original channel was very techno-oriented. Most of the videos were either acid techno, or the reactions, and the DJ mixes were different styles that I mix. But most of the reactions were acid techno, hardcore, hard trance, goa trance, and so on. But it's evolved exactly, the way I've framed the videos. At first I was basically hiding off camera because I felt like I don't want to get in the way of the track and whatever, but then I realized I was sort of blocking the sound, so then I moved more on camera. And then ultimately I realized that a lot of the videos in the early days, I was just too verbose on the front end, or even more to the point, not so much verbose on the front ends, but more to the point, I felt like every time I wanted to say something about the tune that I had to pause it. I since learned that if you find moments that you can interject comments while the tune is still playing, I think it's better. I think the tune or the reaction video is tidier, it tends to be more concise. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to redo one of the ones that I had originally done on my other channel, but was just a bit too long, because it's basically a 5-minute tune, and I think the video was like 17 minutes. That feels way too excessive. So we're going to listen to a tune under the name Nosferatu. This release is done by Patrick van Kerkhoven, famously DJ Ruffneck, and the sort of the linchpin and the leader of the Ruffneck Alliance and so on. But this tune, or this release, is done by him and Erwin von Kahn. After this release, Erwin von Kahn took over the Nosferatu name, as a solo project. And again, Ruffneck, Kerkhoven has so many different names that he's used, Undercover Anarchist and Ectomorph and Wedlock and so on. So, but yeah, this release is done by the two of them, Patrick van Kerkhoven and Erwin von Kahn. It's on Ruffneck Records. The year is from 1997. I really, really do love this record. All three tunes are fantastic. This one, though, that we're going to listen to is probably my favorite. I may go back. I also reacted to Hardcore DNA. I'll have to go see that video. I'll have to go back and look at it if it's not too long. And some of the videos I did, I don't want to redo, even if they might be a little bit long, because maybe the tune surprised me in the moment and it made a big impact, and I feel like having that on camera is a good thing. And there's sometimes where I've talked about tunes in a way that I think really fits with the track itself and so on. So I might not redo everything, but I might come back and redo Hardcore DNA as well. Nevertheless, shout out to the artwork. I don't know if all of the artwork was done by PVK, so to speak, but I do think a lot of the work that he's done, a lot of the releases on the label in the early days, the artwork was done by him. I always loved the way that the early Ruffneck records show all the releases on the back, so you could have the catalog and try to figure out which ones you didn't have. So yeah, like I said, we're going to listen to a tune by Nosferatu, this incarnation of that project, and it's called The Future. I did want to mention, before we get started, there's a point early on where, I don't know, a couple minutes in, where it breaks into this it goes into this quick breakdown, and there's a quick build, and it launches, and for all the world, you would think that it is the main drop. And yet, a measure or a bar later, it pulls almost everything out of the track, as if the tune sort of loses cabin pressure for a moment, and then it fully charges back in after a quick flash of the sample for the real drop. And that delayed drop, that little quirk that I was not prepared for when I first heard this tune, really hit me hard. And when I've used this tune in DJ mixes, I get really excited for that moment. So keep an eye, or an ear out for that. Here we go, Nosferatu, The Future, on Ruffneck Records, 1997. Oh, sorry. 33 and I was on 45. It's like that percussion rhythm is so rapid, it almost sounds like it's like stretching or rolling. But that kick and bass line combo, the power, the size, colossal. Just that distortion is so glorious. A big sort of hardcore synth of the appropriate tension and anxiety incoming. Kind of has like ancient Egyptian like tomb sort of vibes. I don't know. The future. I do like the particular melodic line, as well as its sort of, staccato sort of nature. High percussion coming back in. Again, PVK and his ability to mix like normal kick, hat, snare percussion with like drum and bass rhythms, unbelievable. But here comes the part I mentioned. Breakdown incoming. Hard synth of delight. Placeholder kick build-up. I mean, surely this is the real drop, right? Like, how could it not be? Phenomenal. First time I heard it, it blew my mind. And we still got another great hard synth rhythm coming. Welcome. Welcome. One of my favorite old school hardcore records I have. It's 25 years old, this thing. You could feel that, like it was pulling back, but you knew it was about to jump the gate again. Stripped down interlude. I like that. Thought it might drop in right away, but it did that and then rolled in. But the bass line distortion and kick drum combo is just perfection. One more time with the big, again, ancient Egyptian tune, sort of tension-filled synth melody. Love the kick drum, man. Clap really hit right there. Stood out for a moment. If you're mixing out, you probably have started mixing by this point, maybe just that last measure break. Or maybe you have a soft mix in mind where you got a sample and like an ambient lead in or something. But if you are doing a hard like beat mix, I feel like you'd want to be mixing by now. Because that's it. Love it. Honestly, I don't know if I have a favorite tune on this record. This might be first among equals, though, because again, Hardcore DNA is great. Love the breakdown and sample in that one. Inspiration Vibes is fantastic, and it uses that classic, Wicked Inspiration vibe on the Jungle This Side sample. It's just amazing. But like I said, I maybe think this one, The Future, is my absolute favorite of 3 excellent tracks. Forgot to mention the cat number. This is Ruff 45-5. And again, this came out in 1997. So as I said, this is 25 years old. Still sounds fresh as hell, if you ask me. So again, shout out to Ruffneck and the label, which has again started putting out vinyl again. Go back and see. I've reacted to 2 tracks that they've put out on vinyl in recent times, both by Van Kerkhoven. One under the Undercover Anarchist name, what is the name of that one? Oh, I'm forgetting the name of that one as I sit here. But then I also did react to Wedlock Mirrors, and that's a fantastic tune. Both of those are. They're really great. So go check those out if you're interested. Nevertheless, shout out to Ruffneck, both the artist and the label. Let me know if there's any hardcore reactions you'd like to hear, or just any reactions in general. And indeed, if you're here watching this and you originally found my channel through punk rock or Iron Maiden or even classical, I love when I find out that there are other people who have like vast and diverse musical interests. So big shout out to you. If this is not a genre that you would have normally followed, but through my videos you said, hey, why not? I'll give it a look. So massive appreciation to anyone watching this, but especially people who might be walking outside their normal paths that they check out. So shout out to everyone. I really do appreciate the people watching and listening. Have a good day. Have a good night. I'll see you next time. Peace.